Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Another live stream. Welcome back to Monster Lore and the Monster Workshop, where we talk about monster lore, a particular monster, and we also do a monster workshop making tools for you that you can use in your game. That's what this is all about. Okay, so for today we have something special. Nothing scary, nothing frightening, a little bit different, a slight change in programming, a creature that is less horrific and more magical. I'm putting up a poll. Feel free to take part in that poll. This will take me about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes at the most to cover. Okay, from Esper Emporium of Esoterica, and then we'll go straight into the workshop. But I always like to start off with at least some monster lore on a creature. So let's get rolling, shall we? Pardon me. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about tabletop role-playing games. And today it's all about monster lore. That's right, we're talking about monster lore, the Enigma Cat from Esper Emporium of Esoterica. The Enigma Cat is a magical creature. It is a completely Dungeons & Dragons 5e compatible creature. I will be just covering the lore for this creature today rather than anything else. Okay, so what do we know about the Enigma Cat? Well, it is capable of doing lots of different things. Leaping out of the thin air is a small, thin cat with vividly coloured fur and glowing eyes. Not every cat from the plane of fairies is brightly coloured, can talk, cast spells, is a trickster, but this one is. An Enigma Cat is truly a magical mystery. The Enigma Cat disappears in a blink of an eye, and who's to say where or when it will return? Finding a target and proceeding to prank that target by speaking into their mind or mimicking the voice of a nearby person, the Enigma Cat is a joker. While invisible, and it can become invisible, the magical feline will simply knock things off tables, off desks, shelves, causing all sorts of trouble. Many people have thought that they were being haunted by a poltergeist or a ghost, but it was in fact an invisible Enigma Cat, being a rascal. Curiosity draws the Enigma Cat to spellcasters of all stripes, and specifically magic. A crafty little thing, the Enigma Cat is capable of learning how to cast virtually any minor spell or magic. The Enigma Cat is extremely independent by nature, like most cats. Should an Enigma Cat meet a spellcaster that it actually likes and trusts sufficiently, it can form a magical bond with them, between them and the cat, and essentially become a familiar for the spellcaster. While bonded, that spellcaster can sense what the Enigma Cat can see through its eyes, ears, and other senses, as long as they are within 1 mile of each other. The Enigma Cat can, at any time, end the bond with that spellcaster if it wants to. This is the magical feline familiar. Now, this is all I have on the Enigma Cat for today. It does not have an enormous amount of information. It's still a very interesting creature. I want to thank you for listening and watching. I want to thank Esper the Bard for letting me share this from Esper Emporium of Esoterica and all of his support around it. I do appreciate it. And I want to thank all of my patrons. Without you, this is not possible. Anyway, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Okay, all right. That is that. Now, very, very quick, I didn't want to go... Look, the Enigma Cat is one of those things that essentially is your magical version of a cat that can be a familiar. And usually what Esper likes me to do is to share the information with you from his book about how that cat works. And so I'm going to do that. We are going to be running into the workshop aspect of this. Now, I have a plan for today. We are going to build another tool. This is probably the last tool we'll be building for monsters, and then we'll be going into making monsters from there on. Whether I can complete it today with you, I'm not sure. I expect, I'm aiming for 100, but I don't know that that's feasible, so we'll see. We are going to be building, as part of the workshop aspect, basically monster body part crafting. So what body parts of a monster can be turned into something by the players. Why? Because I thought it was fun. It's something that people have requested, so I'm willing to oblige that, and so that's where we're going to be going for today. But before we do that, we do in fact need to look at the Enigma Cat from Esper's Emporium of Esoterica before we go too far, and I'm going to share that with you right now. Okay, so let me just pull up that screen, and you can see what's going on with this creature from the book. Every time I do these presentations, I try not to change too much of Esper's stuff. I might add stuff. I did not do a lot of work with the Enigma Cat. I didn't really know if there's much more I could add to it. I think he'd done most of it, as far as I could tell. But anyway, here we are. Here is the Enigma Cat from Esper's Emporium of Esoterica. As you can see, its armor class is not that high. It's only 13, which is what you would expect from a challenge rating 1 creature. It has only got 14 hit points, which is not very many. Speed 40 feet, and it can climb 20 feet, so it's got a climb speed. It's got a lot of skills, like you got Arcana, Deception, Perception, Stealth, all those sorts of things that you would expect. And surprisingly, this cat has dark vision. I'm glad to see that's the case. It would be strange not to have a cat that has dark vision, since even normal cats have dark vision. So it's good that they do. They also can communicate using Common and Sylvan, and they have telepathy, so they can communicate telepathically if they want to. They have some innate spell casting. The sort of spells that they tend to cast is, something like Invisibility on itself, Minor Illusion, Misty Step, Color Spray, and of course it can bite, and it's got a special reaction ability at the bottom there. And there's a variant as well, because I guess if you're presenting the Enigma Cat to your players, there's going to be a very strong desire by spellcasters who are playing a character to have the Enigma Cat be their familiar. And this is really sort of set up to kind of allow you to do that, okay? It would certainly be a more powerful familiar than normal, but it certainly is set up to be a familiar. And there's a reason why it is a cat, and why it's cute and colourful and magical, because it's essentially been designed for that very purpose. Anyway, let's get on to the workshop aspect of today. So when I do these sorts of things, what I normally do is I break down into sort of a simple, I create a simple process for running our live stream in such a way that it allows us to come up with ideas. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm not necessarily going to share the document with you as we're going through, depending on how many people are putting in their 2 cents. I see the poll. Do your players want to turn craft magic body parts into something? Yes, 67%. Just watching, 33%. I think that's only out of 3 votes. Hello, Fred Huber. Fred Huber's a patron. Thanks for being here. Yeah, another candidate for Granny's Missing Cat quest. Exactly. Hello, Dungeons and Chronics. Okay. All right. So let's get on with the question that I actually have for you today. Hashtag. What sorts of things do players want to turn monster body parts into through crafting? Now, I know the most obvious thing is, obviously we want to make magic items, but using a body part from a monster does not mean it has to be a magical item, okay? It could be just crafting a very mundane item from a body part. So we're not really here about doing magic items. It is just, what would they like to turn it into? Whether it's magical or not, it's going to be up to you as a game master or a dungeon master. I'm not going to get involved in that part of it, okay? I'm going to leave that to you. I do magic items on a different day, and today's not the one. So that's my question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you sort of a breakdown of how I would suggest we structure it. So normally I do like a tag. So I'll go like hashtag tag, and if we go armor, actually, no, let's go dagger. Imagine you want to make a dagger. So a dagger might look like this. A dagger made from the monster's teeth, claws, or a spike. Okay, so let's give you an idea of how I would suggest we structure it. So we're aiming for what are we trying to make, and what body part would you use to do that? And I will take that and we'll have a sort of like, I'm going to structure it like for a dagger, these are sort of the body parts that you would use to make that dagger from. Okay, because this is probably what players are going to, this is how players are going to think. I'm going to get rid of the hat. It's getting a little bit warm. I might even open my door, actually. I should open my door and my window. I'm going to open my door, though. Yep, I can't take it anymore. Okay. All right. The window gets opened up if I decide to do so. Okay. So let's start working on something like this. Okay, since I have put in the first suggestion, I will make up a document which I will work with, and I will show you it as we go. We're going to aim for 100. I think 100 is ridiculously high. I don't believe it can be done. Frankly, I think we would come short of that. Hashtag. Monster body part crafting ideas. I think that's good enough. We will make sure we have that file there, and I think I can pick up, because we've been working on what was it, monster reproduction last week, didn't we? So with monster reproduction, I can take a lot of that structure and I can kind of port it over, and we can use that a little bit. Where is it? Monster reproduction. Oh, there it is. Yep, there we go. And I will just copy this little piece here so that it's ready to drop in. Drop it in, paste it, and then expand and bold. And that's good enough. Okay, cool. And then now that I've done that, we start numbering. Okay, so I'm going to number the first one. I'm going to put it all into alphabetical order eventually, but obviously not right now. That would be not what I'm going to do. But yeah, I will put it into alphabetical order. We'll see how you guys come up. I'm going to probably take some of your ideas and use them as starting points, and then try to fill them out. Okay. Okay. All right. So. Made from. So this is what it looks like. This is my starting point. This is where I'm starting. This is the format that I'm going to go for. This is what it looks like. Okay. I will share the document when I'm not cutting your ideas and putting them into the document. I've said before that I have a lot of trouble struggling going from my 4K 30-inch monitor screen to the tiny screen on my phone watching the chat, and I just can't do it. There's not enough space for two monitors in here. Not that I think I could afford it anyway. In fact, I know I could not afford to buy another monitor. It would take me 7 years to pay it off. Anyway, let's have a look and see what you guys have come up with, and I'll transfer some ideas across. Somebody has said, now, Pale Rider's got here dragon scale shurikens. Well, okay, so let's go shurikens. Shurikens is what we're trying to make, and what can you make it from? You want to say a dragon scale. So a shuriken, and we can made from the monster's Scales. I don't know. What else? What else could you use to make shurikens from? A throwing star, basically. So I got your first idea there. I haven't put down dragon because it could be any creature that has scales. Yep. So we've got armor, weapons, rope, sled, clothing. So armor. Let's mark down armor. So armor. So what would you make armor from for an animal or a beast or a monster? So what about made from the monsters? I think scales is definitely going to be one. You can make armor from monster scales. What about bones? Bone armor would be something you could do. That would be quite strong. And then the other one is it carapace? I think it's carapace. Carapace. Because you have a carapace, which is hardened sort of armor for a monster. So you could take sections of that. I think those three different things could be used from a monster to make some sort of armor. Okay, so we've got armor down. Very good. Oh, I've got a lot of ideas flowing here. I just got to pull them apart now. Weapons. Well, there's lots of different weapons. So let's say if we're going to make a sword, what we make a sword from. Could be any kind of sword, but what sort of sword? So we'll come back to this one. We've got to decide what is it that you actually use to create the sword from. That's our question there. What about if you said weapon, what about a mace? Or a club? It's a club, really. A mace is essentially a club. Yep, a club. And so I think probably the most obvious thing with that would be the monster's bones. Unless there's something else going on here. Okay, maybe from the monster's bones. Maybe there's something else, I don't know. All right, so this is starting to fill out a little bit. Cool, we've got that bit. Next, you said rope. Okay, that's interesting. Rope. But what part of the body would you make your rope from? That's the question. Like, you know, is there something that sort of stands out as being very ropish? Or a material from a monster or a beast or creature that you could turn into rope? I don't know. So we need to have a think about that. A sled. Clothing. Sled and clothing. Okay. Sled. So what would you make the sled from a monster? Okay, you've got clothing here. I think we can pretty much establish there's a couple of things that are fairly obvious, like their fur and their hide or skin. Pretty much a no-brainer that those are things that you would probably include, right? Monster, made from the monster's, let's say, what is it? Fur, hide, and skin. Maybe there's something else that I've missed. You tell me. Okay. All right. So, potions. Magic weapons. So we're going to do weapons, but we're not going to specifically say magic weapons. Do we need to say magic weapons? Do we need to say magic armor? I'm not sure that that's absolutely necessary. I'm almost completely convinced that it is not necessary. But a potion, like what would you use to make a potion? Okay. What is that going to be made from? Well, we could say the potion's made from their blood. What about their urine, like a liquid, or their poison? Monster's blood, urine, or is it venom, toxin, venom? I think it's venom, isn't it? There might be other things that, other fluids from the monster's body that could be turned into a potion. You just got to give me an idea of what they might be. You've got a bag of holding here, which is a magic item. I totally get it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to mark down a bag. It doesn't have to be a bag of holding. It just needs to be a bag. What would you make a bag out of if you were looking at the different body parts of a monster? Do you see, when I was thinking about how we would do this and what's the best way to do this, I was trying to come up with, like, what is the best way to come up with a list that works this way that would actually be useful to you? Because it needs to be able to be, whatever we develop needs to be able to be applied to any creature or monster in your game, right? And so we've got to be careful about being too specific. So we need to be specific about what part of the body we're using to make something. And that is really this is really a game master tool, right? These are the questions that you would be asking yourself. So let's do all the work for the game master here today. Right, now you said make a bow. Yeah, making a bow. How would you make a bow? What part of the body on a monster is going to be used to make the bow? I don't know. Have you got an idea? Is there something that would be pertinent to that? I don't know. I'm not too sure. Question to be answered. You have an axe here. You got sword, axe. Again, yes. So yeah, so something like a dragon tooth or a claw is just a monster tooth or claw. Yep. So we've got the dagger sorted out. An axe. What would you use to make an axe? If you want to make an axe from a monster, what is it going to be? What part? What bit is appropriate? Because it still has to look axe-like, doesn't it? Is it just the axe head, or is it the entire axe? Yeah. Okay, so we've got that. Fred Huber, thank you. I've marked down all those. Behold, a stomach has something. Has been the component to make a bag of holding. So monster stomach. Okay, so behold a stomach. Let's go with bag as the monster's stomach lining. There we go. Monster's stomach lining. There you go. So there's a bag could be made from that. It could potentially also be made from maybe the hide of the creature. Hide. Skin. I think probably all of those would probably fit. So just add that in. Okay, shurikens from the monster's scales, bones, claws, and teeth. All right, so you've answered that question in terms of what do we make our shuriken from? Well done, Pale Rider. I got that. Let's put this in here. And I just need to go back here a little bit. So how many I'm up to? I'm up to 12, but they're not fully fleshed out. Okay, we're up to 12, but I'm not fully fleshed out. Okay. Green dragon spit, poison gas. Okay, so drool. I guess spit is drool, isn't it? Or saliva. Saliva might be a potion. Saliva. Saliva. I think I got saliva spelt correctly. I messed it up the other day. Waterproof clothing from monster hide. Yes, so I got hide down. The cup chalice from a monster skull. Nice. That's very specific. A cup or chalice from a monster skull, and I'm all for that. Let's do that. Cup, chalice, and so a drinking cup. Made from the monster's skull, from a monster skull. Okay, I've got that one. Maybe we can add a few more things in for the cup. I don't know, but we've got cup down, drinking cup. Okay, black dragon spit magical acid. Okay, displace a beast hide cloak of displacement. You guys are wanting to be very specific here. I'm trying to avoid being specific here. Do you know what I mean? When I looked at this, I was thinking, how useful is this? Because what we wind up doing is we wind up making magic items. And we'll make magic items another day. Today's not the day. So what we're doing is we're just trying to think about what are we trying to make and what would you use to make it? I don't want to get too specific, because I don't know how useful that would be. Do you know what I mean? So I see your idea there, Fred Huber, with the displacer beast hide to make the cloak of displacement. But as I said, I am not convinced that there's a huge amount of value in being that specific. If it's a tool, it needs to be a tool that can be transferred over to other things as well. Okay, all right. Next, a carriage from a large monster skull. Okay, so a carriage. What about from its, what do you call it? Its rib cage. Its rib cage could also potentially do something like that. Dragon pouch made from dragon's innards. So innards as an intestine. A pouch made from intestine. You could probably do that. Pouch made from a monster's intestine. Question mark. Maybe there's more that can go into that one. Okay, I got it. Good idea. Creature hide scales to make armor. So you want to include hide for making armor as well. Okay, we can do that. Or add hide in as well. Scales, hide. Yep, got it. Included. A whip from a monster's tentacles, tail, intestines, hair, or skin. You're getting good at this, Pale Rider. Let's grab this here. So we're dealing with a whip. So made from the monsters, and yes, we've covered quite a lot of bases as to what you might use from that monster. I'm looking at the long delay between typing on a PC and it shows up on my cell phone. Yeah, it's one of the reasons too I stopped looking at my cell phone, is because you guys would be typing in and I was not getting the feed onto my phone, whereas I get the feed directly onto my my laptop. No, not my laptop, to my desktop computer. Okay, so it's reasonably powerful and there's no real delay. Cell phone is terrible when it comes to delay. So when you're running a live stream, it's not very helpful. It's probably the most inefficient way to actually track what you're doing. And these workshops are really dependent on your feedback and what you're saying. So I need to be able to know what's going on. So yes, a mace from bones, hooves, skull. Okay, hooves. I like that idea. So we've added a few more things. Skull. The skull, maybe it's a smallish skull. So that is the club. Let's add that in. Bone, hoof, skull. Okay, very good. Nice. I've got the club. The maces and the club are essentially the same as far as I'm concerned. So what I'll do is I'll put club and I'll put in brackets mace, so that we're not really duplicating that, because I don't want to. It's the same thing as far as I'm concerned. Okay, next. Oh, by the way, where are we in terms of this document? What does it look like? Actually, it's looking pretty good. I think we're up to about 16 items from your feedback here. So, no, 15 items. I think there'll probably be more once I catch up with the live stream. But yeah. So I'm just filling in the gaps. You can see we've still got to answer the question, what do you make an axe from a monster? What do you use for making bows, a sled, or rope, and a sword? Like, what are you going to use for the sword? Maybe it's going to be the same thing as the dagger. It might be teeth, claws, and or spikes. We could just do that, unless there's something else that sort of stands out. I don't know. Or even a fang. A tooth is a fang, but maybe we just say it's a fang. Sword. Paste. Okay, there we go. And then I feel like a fang is supposed to be slightly larger than some of the teeth, so yeah, we'll put fang in there as well. No, there's no point. A fang is a tooth. It's a tooth. It's teeth. It's the same thing. Yeah, we're just duplicating ourselves now. So we'll just leave that. Okay, so this is what I've got. This is where I'm up to. I'm going to come back to my face, so you have to put up with my face for a little bit longer. And let's keep moving through your chat. A cape or a knapsack out of a boneless something. Okay, so a cap or a hat. I think we're dealing with a hat, aren't we? Hat, cap. What would you make that from? That's the question. Made from the monster's something. Something over there. What would it be? I don't know. You tell me. Okay. Here we go. 9 catertails. So you're dealing with a whip, Fred Huber. It's a whip. A whip, add on tongue. You want to add tongue? Cat of 9 tails is still whip. So cat of 9 tails, tongue. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe we could use a tongue. Tongue. Depending if it's got a really long tongue or maybe it's a short tongue. I don't know. So, yep, let's add that. We've got that. That's fine. Cool. Bow from... Oh, now, rib bones, large beast. A bow, rib bones. Okay, bow, rib bones. Rib bones. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. What else did we have here? Have I missed anything? Hopefully I haven't. We'll keep going. Bow from... Yes. Tendons for a recurved bow. Tendons. Tendons. Okay, so the part of the bow is going to need a string. So you're talking about the string. Okay, so bones. So let's say bones. Bow, bones. Okay, I'm just sort of jostling things around a little bit. Do we need to say that or just do this? Okay, all right. So I've got a little bit more for the bow, what you would use to make the bow part of it. A shield. Yes, a shield. What would we use for shield? And there's quite a few different things we could potentially... Oh, you've included wings. That's an interesting idea. Maybe, yeah, because I suppose you could... And it would be different type of thing, wouldn't it? You'd be dealing with something slightly different. So let's do a shield, because we didn't get shield, and we should have a shield. Someone's going to want to make a shield. And let's include the wing membrane. Maybe it's tough enough. Made from the monster's hide, scales, bones, carapace, or wing membrane. Wing membrane. Okay. I just remembered I didn't record today's monster lore. Darn it! I was supposed to do that. I didn't make a recording. Okay. Problem for me to deal with later on. Any bones possible? Yep. Hello, Sir Bunyip. How are you? Nice to have you here. Thank you for your contribution. Okay, so shoulder blade would be a bone axe. Shoulder blade, that's a good idea. The shoulder blade bone would make a good axe. Nice. Bum, bum, bum. Shoulder blade. Monsters. Shoulder blade bone. Shoulder blade bone. Okay. Very good. Nice. This is looking better. I knew this was the way that this is structured. I knew it was not going to be 100, but if we get 20, that would be good. And if we have enough information to help sort of fill it all out, cool. You want to use the hip bone? An axe, use the hip bone. I see what I'm saying, because, yeah, I guess you could use a hip bone. So it's going to be a bone of some kind. Shoulder blade bone, hip bone. Okay. All right, I've got that. It's down. Now back to bowstrings. Bowstrings from intestines, tendons, and veins. Okay. What about ligaments? Like the bowstring. I think what we will do is I will separate bowstrings from bowstring. That'll just help guide people around so we don't get confused. And then copy that and paste this. Intestines, tendons, veins. Get rid of the tendons for the bow itself. It's more bone. Maybe it's going to be something else. I don't know. And then ligaments. Ligaments. Okay. All right. Bowstring. Okay, separated that. I think that helped a little bit. Cow and sheep bladders were the first balls that bounce. Okay, so if we wanted to make a ball, we would be using the bladder of the monster. Let's add that. That's pretty easy. Ball. Paste. And made from the monster's bladder. Doom, doom, doom. Paste this. And we'll go, maybe we can add more to that. I don't know. All right, so we're looking at about 19 different ideas here. Not completely filled out. Water skin for the monster's organs, including skin. From the organs. Okay, so water skin from the monster's internal organs. You want to use internal organs. Look, a water skin is basically a bag. So internal organs, we can add that. You've got skin there as well. So let's find a bag. Stomach lining, hide, skin, and internal organs. Okay. I have edited in. It's done. Samson used a jawbone of an ass as a war axe, did he? Jawbone. Okay. So that would be an axe potentially. Axe, jawbone. Let's find axe. Whoops. Jawbone. Okay. Included. I've added it. I let my players make a +1 dart from Hydra teeth. Broken ones were used for +1 crossbow bolt. So darts. Well, let's mark down darts and Hydra teeth. If you want to do, I guess, yes, yeah, we can do that. So teeth, darts, teeth. Be small teeth rather than big teeth, right? Made monsters teeth. Okay. All right, good. Now, dart. So a dart, I think what we need to do is include a couple of things here. What we're really talking about is a dart. Whatever you use, you could use it for a dart, an arrow, or a bolt, right? And so I'm actually going to go the other way around. I'm going to go with arrow. And then in brackets, I'll go dart, bolt. Made from monster's teeth. Okay, all right, good. What else? Dungeons and Chronics. A spear made out of a twig. A spear, that's a good idea. A twig. Is it a bright red? Bright red something. Is it slard tooth for the tip? Okay, alright, so we're dealing with a spear. Spear head. Okay. Yeah, okay, so let's think about this a little bit. So the arrowhead, well, you know what we're going to make and the rest of the arrow from is just going to be a branch, but the arrowhead can be something specific. So now we've got the spearhead, I guess. I'm going to include spear under this just to make it easier because it's not a very long sentence anyway, so it can just be included in there. The head of a spear, covered. Right, that's pretty good. Skull to make a face mask. A helmet. Nobody said anything about a helmet or a mask. A face mask or a helmet. That's a good idea. Face mask. Face mask. Helmet, which might be slightly different to the armor section. So yes, absolutely. So let's go copy, and we're now on to 22. So we've done 22 of these little suckers, which is good. It's pretty decent if you ask me, considering. And that really just. Actually, that last one there, Fred, really did help a lot because now I've got truckloads. And I'm well and truly behind, so let's have a keep. Axe, monster bones, well, teeth, scales, kidney stones. Kidney for an axe. You won't sell me on the kidney stones for the axe, but okay. Scales, an axe. Would scales do it? Teeth. I feel like the axe would be more of a pick, unless the teeth are. I know what you're now. I think I know what you're saying. You're thinking about a triangular shaped tooth, right? Or a tooth that is kind of sort of square, because there are teeth that are square rather than just pointy things. So that's tooth, scale. I'm not too sure about the scale, but the tooth makes sense. It's an axe. So a triangular tooth. Okay. There's another, I can't remember the other name of the tooth that isn't triangular, that's kind of like a square. With one side that's sort of serrated and sharp. Kidney stones for bullets on a sling. There you go. Kidney stones. Okay, so please do not refer to the monster's genitalia for the ammunition for a sling, please. I know it's tempting. Next. A sling bullet. I'm not even sure. I mean, why would you even bother? Let's just pick up any stone. Does it really have to be a monster's kidney stones? I feel like we're helping the monster, taking them out. You know? Oh dear. Yeah, I thought I'd kill the monster with its own kidney stones. That's you know. Okay. All right. Gauntlets. Gauntlets is a good idea. We need to have something for gauntlets. Made out of iron, an iron golem. That's very specific. What part of the animal, beast, monster? Because, I mean, an iron golem is pretty obvious. So what are you going to use off the creature to make the gauntlet from a monster part? I think that's our real question. Bum, bum, bum. I don't know. You tell me. But I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to avoid going into very specific monsters because I don't see there being much use for that. A humanoid skull can make a cup for drinking. We've got that. Tears, defeated enemies and winners. Flying apparatus like a wing glider from a monster wings. That's actually very, very smart. Hide, organs. Oh, the lungs. Twined. Oh, here. So we didn't actually talk about, like, the bowstrings could be made from here. Feathers for arrow fletchings. Yes, I suppose that's true. It's true. Okay, so we are now breaking things down a little bit more. So we need to go into here. A bowstring can be made from here. It would be a very long hair, but I'm sure some monsters have very long hair. Okay, flying apparatus. Made from made from a monster's. No, that didn't work. Writing a monster's. Wings, hide. I think that's probably good. Wings, hide, organ, lungs. The flappy things, lungs. Twined here. I'm not sure I quite get that one, so I'm going to just leave that. But the lungs, the hide, and the wings, I'm all good for. Let's keep that. That seems good. Monsters. Come on, Fred, get it. Monsters. Wings, hide, lungs. Okay. They're going to go experimenting with their flying contraption. Fletching, arrow fletching, feathers. Yes, that could be a thing. Sword from a monster's bone, fangs, claws, scales, horns. Oh, horns and quills. Thank you. Horns and quills is a good idea. Let's do that. Horns and quills. So dagger, sword. Horn. Quills. And I think horns and quills, depending on the size, could apply to a dagger or a sword. One is smaller, one is larger. So I'm going to just transfer that over so that we have it pretty much looking exactly the same. Cool. Nice job. Well done. As for bones are teeth and claws anyway, so it's monster bone. Yeah. I don't think you want to use any other part of the bone, because you want to use the strongest part of the bone, right? Because most bones tend to be hollow because of the bone marrow. Turn hair into thread to make clothing. Ah, yes, hair and clothing. Good point. We missed that one. So where is clothing? Not in order. Fur, hide, hair, and skin. Okay, for clothing. Good, got it. Turn hair, yes. Calrel, hello, how are you? Dragon oysters, a dragon immune from breath weapon with a little tie made from dragon testes, jades. Thanks for sharing that, Calrel, but I won't be writing it down. Cook the meat to make dinner. Yes, you could. I mean, obviously, but I'm talking about turning it into something that you can use as a permanent item. Whether that's magical or not magical, I'm not worried about, okay? We're going to be eating the animal anyway. The monster is going to get consumed. Any bones could be pulverized to powder and folded into another material. I'm a little bit lost on that idea. Quite confused by that pale rider, but I'm looking. Not the string. Certain Mongolian bows where the Huns used had tendons on the wood part, making it more flexible. It would be a damage increase. Short bow from... Okay, I'm a little bit lost. I'm not too sure about that. A shell. Yes, the shell of an animal. You're quite right. Makes a good shield or armor. Shell. Let's do that. Absolutely. I'm all for that. Shell, shield or armor. And we'll put that in here as well. If we get this right, it would be a very short list, but with a lot of suggestions about what part of the body could be used to make something, which is always going to be your problem with players, is they're like, so what could I turn this into? And they're going to expect you to come up with solutions. A slingshot made from a minotaur scrotum. Okay, I'm putting your minotaur scrotum idea for the slingshot in bold on this list as I speak. Right now, you can hear me typing. I'm typing it up right now, Dungeons and Chronics. It's funny. I should definitely put it in. A boat hull. A boat's actually quite a clever idea. Yes, a boat hull from a monster skeleton or shell from a monster like a giant turtle. I can see that. A boat. I don't think boat hull. We'll just say boat. It's a boat. Let's just go with boat. Boat. Made from a monster's. Now you got here skeleton. I guess it could be also the skull or shell. Whatever sort of shell it is. That's fine. Okay. We have a boat now as an option. If they want to make a boat, we know how to do it. This is what we'll use. Okay, good. Cool. That's 26, by the way. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're almost out of time. Okay, so I need to move faster. Okay, I'm almost at the bottom. Gorgon's Tears Poison. Tears Poison. Oh, so we want to do poison. Yes, you're quite right. Players are going to want to use something from the monster to make poison. Guaranteed. It's going to be one of the things they want to create. Poison. So, made from the monster's tears, blood. What else would it be? Urine. What else could you make poison from on a monster? Something else. Oh, venom, because they have venom. Some monsters actually have venom, so you don't have to worry about. You just gotta harvest it. Okay, got it. Nice one, Calrel. Okay, mace. Add on zombie head. I suppose you could. It's interesting. The cell video keeps up better. The PC chat is faster. Interesting. It's weird, isn't it? It's very, very strange. Ladder from Monster Bones. I like the idea, Pale Rider. How many times have you had a player say, I would really like to make a ladder from this monster? Can I do that? It doesn't come up very often, but it's an interesting idea. Made from the monster's bones. Okay. A ladder. Rope ladder. Okay, so we've got hide, intestines. So rope, we're going to go back to rope. You've gone and listed a whole lot of things that relate to rope. We don't need to necessarily have a rope ladder, but just rope in general. Again, remember, it's a tool, it's not a prescription. We're not going to the doctor and telling you, this is how to make a, a specific thing. It is more a, like, fill in the gaps. Teeth are arrowheads. We've got it. It's done. Incisors, cats. Sweet, done. Finger bones are as buttons. Dragon heart poison. Why would a dragon heart be poisonous? From a dragon heart, Venus. Okay. Harken back. 20 doses, failure. We're dealing with monsters rather than plants here. So, a sewing needle. You want to do How many people said, hey, I really want to make a sewing needle from the monster? Pale Rider, it's a clever idea, but it's not going to come up that often. We're now grasping at straws. Sewing needle. I suppose it could be any kind of needle. Made from the monsters. Quills. Yes. Okay. So we've got the sewing needle covered, just in case somebody has to do a Rambo and sew themselves up because they've got a great huge wound. Shark skin makes good sandpaper. Shark skin makes good sandpaper. Really? Interesting. I didn't realize that. Now I have to now I've got to, Fred, do I actually believe you? That's the thing. Hey Fred, I would really like to turn my monster into sandpaper. It's a clever idea, but it's probably not going to get used that often. Copy. Made from the monster's rough skin. Okay. All right. We've got sandpaper down. Oh, boomerang. Why not? Let's do a boomerang. I like that idea, Dungeons and Chronics. Now we're talking. Oops. What did I just press? I pressed a button that I'm not supposed to press, apparently. Good Lord. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can drop this in. We're gonna finish up very, very shortly, people. I'm not going to go for 2 hours. There's no way. Made from the monster's shoulder blade. Dun dun dun. Okay, that's 31. That's a lot. We've got quite a few here. I should share this with you before I leave. Next. A chair from a monster, bones, cartilage, skull, and... Oh, okay. That's... I guess, yeah, you could have a chair or a throne. Let's put that in there. I don't think it's... Again, it's not something that I think is going to come up very often, but, well, now we know how to do it. Made from monsters. Cartilage... Cartilage, shell, yes, got it all. Shell, skull, cartilage, monsters, bones, make that chair. Get that chair. Gonna have myself a rocking chair. Okay. Ground fairy wings makes fairy dust. Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. Let's grind up fairies to make fairy dust. Liquid dispenser made from monsters' glands, like a skunk. A liquid dispenser? Oh, that just sounds gross. I'm going to stick it in, but... Pale Rider, I feel like you have thought about this way too much. Is this something that you do a lot in your game? As you, like, players want to do something, and it just happens to be with... We want a beer dispenser. Can we make ourselves a beer dispenser? Like eggshells as cups, bowls, pots. Okay, I see. Well, an eggshell. Yes. Okay, so let's go back to the drinking cup. If I can find the drinking cup, here we go. Skull, shell. Yep, so got shell included for the cup. Okay, got it. Elf skin, leather face, height. No, no, not doing it. Unicorn, no. I'm leaving that off. I'm not being that specific. You guys are going down that route. I knew you would do it. Horn to make a musical instrument. Okay. Magical flute. Not putting down unicorn horn. I'm not doing it. Okay. I was once a knight of LaRue. We used to ride around on unicorns. We do not desecrate the unicorn. Instrument. Instrument. I'm going to get that right first. Okay. Okay, so that's, I don't know, what are we using for that? I've got distracted so much. And we are top of the hour. Ooh, ooh, okay. Now, musical instrument, horn. Horn. Yes, okay. Turtle shell bowl or bathtub. Okay, yes. Boat for boat, a rib cage. Bones. Okay, so you want rib cage. Okay, so we'll include the rib cage for the boat. Where's the boat? Can I find it? Skeleton. Rib cage, skull, shell. Yes, I got it all. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Please tell me. Hello, Derp. How are you doing? I wish I didn't miss the start of this one. I'll have to rewatch. I'm going to show you everything that we've been doing anyway, even because I'm going to cut this short. I'm not going to go for 2 hours. It's going to... How many times have you put a player... make a ladder? No, it doesn't. Ladders don't come up that much. Fertilizer for poo. Poo. Okay. Poison, add on tears, boiled eyeballs, other organs, ground teeth. Okay. Okay, so let's keep looking. What's the fairy leather made from the... Okay, all right, okay, all right. There, Cal-Rel. Yeah. Do not desecrate my fairy and my unicorn. Type of goat skin used as for polishing clothing, is it? No on the poll. No, obviously this comes up a lot. Fairy parchment. Oh, God. Here we go. I knew that was going to happen. All right. Okay. Stop. Hashtag stopping. Stop. There we go. Stop. I will show you the document. It is not complete. Okay? But we're going to stop there for today. We can come back to this another day if you like next week if you really want to. If you feel that it needs to happen, oh, good Lord, here we go. Let me show you what we've come up with, okay? Because I know that this could go on for a little while, and I'm not prepared to do 2 hours live stream today. I'm just not up for it. I don't have the stamina, okay? All right, so it's not 100. It's not 100. Just forget the word not 100. Look, I'm taking it away. I'm saying it's 20. 20. Okay, 20. There you go. See that? See that? Not 100 anymore. 20. We got more than enough. More than enough. That's enough. We'll stop there. Okay, let me show you what we have. So, if we want to make a dagger, we're going to use teeth, claws, horns, quills, and spikes. A shuriken, like a throwing star. Okay, we're going to use the monster's scales, the bones, claws, teeth. Fine. Armor. Again. Hide, scales, bones, carapace, shell. Shield, same thing, but we could also use the wing membrane, apparently. I suppose you could do that with the armor as well. I'm not too sure. Sword, pretty much. Teeth, claws, horns, a quill or spike. Okay, got that covered. A club made from the bones, hooves, and the skull of the monster. Rope, hair, hide, intestines, ligaments. Wonderful. A sled, we haven't figured that one out. We'll just leave that for now. I think rib cage is probably good enough. Okay, we'll do that. Rib cage. Okay, there might be more. We'll leave it for now. Moving on. Clothing from the monster's fur, hide, hair, and skin. Potions. Okay, blood, urine, saliva, and venom. A bag. We'll make ourselves a little handbag so we can go down the street. Stomach lining, hide, skin, internal organs. Bow, just the bow. Not the string of the bow, but just the bow. Bones, rib bones. Okay, cool, wonderful. We've got the bowstring, monster intestines, tendons, veins, ligaments, hair. Great. The axe. We're going to axe. Fine, we're going to use it. We're going to make it from the shoulder blade bone, the hip bone, the jaw bone, and the triangular tooth. because a triangular tooth that's big enough could do it. All right, a drinking cup. We're going to use the skull or shell from the monster. If we want to make a pouch, monster intestines, and probably skin. Skin, hide, okay, things like that. Whip, made from the monster's tentacles, tails, intestines, hair, skin, and tongue. A hat or cap made from, I'm just going to leave that for now. Ball, made from the monster's bladder. That's right. The arrowhead, the dart head, the bolt head, the spear head, made from a monster's tooth. Okay? Or teeth. A face mask made from the monster's skull. Maybe we're going to use the, we need a helmet, monster skull time. Okay. A sling bullet made from the monster's kidney stones. I think this is done in jest mostly. You could use any stone, frankly. It wouldn't have to be from a monster's body. Next. Gauntlets. We haven't really covered that one. Next one. Flying apparatus made from the monster's wings, hide, and lungs. Boat made from monster bones, the rib cage, a skull, or a shell. Poison made from the monster's tears, blood, urine, venom. If you can think of another liquid that comes out of a monster, let me know. If you think it might be poisonous, we can stick it down. Ladder made from monster bones. Sewing needle, because of course we want to be Rambo at some point. Made from the monster bones, claws, teeth, quills. It's going to have to be very, very small for it to be a claw or a tooth. Quill might work. Bones, I don't know. Sandpaper, monster, rough skin. Okay. Boomerang, from a shoulder blade from a monster. A chair, from monster bones, cartilage, skull, and shell. Liquid dispenser. That's right. You go into the tavern and there's a liquid dispenser made from the monster's glands. Yeah, I know. It seems, yeah. Anyway, moving on. The monster instrument. Monster horn. It's the horn of the monster. These are instrument. Okay. It could also be any kind of bone, because bone is hollow, so it's easy to make a flute from it. Well, easier, I would imagine. Those are the things we got down today. Those are the things that I'm going to stick with. Those are the things we can come back to if you really want. Fred Huber wants to do 50. We'll come back next week and we'll finish. We'll go from 34 to 50. That means we need to do another 16 more ideas next week. Not today, next week. Okay? Fred needs to rest up. And Fred needs to go. Look, thank you for those of you who have been here today. I do appreciate it. So thank you to my patrons who support me on Patreon. Thank you to Esper the Bard for letting me talk about his monsters. I do appreciate that he lets me do that. And he gives me a lot of resources so I can. I am all for that. Okay? Great. Wonderful. Really do appreciate that. I want to thank those people who took part in the poll. I really do appreciate when people use the poll. If you've been watching and listening, thank you for doing so. But special big thank you to those people in the comments, even for some of your more outrageous ideas. Thank you for sharing and giving ideas, because even some of the more outrageous ideas did prompt me to think of things I could put in there. And it's fun. There's a lot of fun to be had. And we've got to have a few laughs along the way. So thank you, Cal Rel, Fred Huber, Pale Rider, who did a marvelous job today. I think he was really working fast and hard today. I was very impressed. Dungeons and Chronics, who came up with some great ideas. Thank you for showing up, Derp. And if I've missed anybody, it wasn't really my intention to miss you. I probably have skipped somebody. Sir Bunyip. Thank you, Sir Bunyip, for being here. And yes, we're just about done, people. And I am just about done too. Let us cycle out of here now that we've talked about what we can do with our monster parts. It was only near the end of the live stream that people started talking about the scrotum. So that's always good too. So I appreciate that. So anyway, thank you. No matter where you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.